Can we talk about fish fingers? I've got this slightly odd theory that understanding the backstory of the humble fish finger can tell you an awful lot about the way the modern world works, about the perversities of it, about what we do to get cheaper stuff. And it all comes back to understanding the journey that the typical fish finger that you might well be about to tuck into takes from from the sea to your or your children's dinner plate. Now, this particular one was actually caught in the North Sea, and you might have thought, okay, because it's caught in the North Sea and it's being consumed here in England, not that far from the North Sea, that's a pretty simple supply chain, as people call them. But actually, it's not, because a lot of fish fingers, they start off by being caught somewhere perhaps near to where they're eventually consumed. But in the middle, they are transported to the other side of the world for processing. So in the case of lots of fish fingers in the UK, they get caught maybe in the North Sea, maybe in the North Atlantic, and they get frozen and shipped in one of those big shipping containers all the way to China, to a place called Shandong. And it involves these days, because it's so hard to get through the Suez Canal, because people are worried about Houthi attacks in the Red Sea, it involves going all the way around Africa, you go across the Indian Ocean, you go through the Straits of Malacca, you up past Singapore, and then you end up in a place called Shandong. And it's basically the world capital for the processing of fish, including the fish that we are consuming. And then it comes back again, having been turned from a fish that comes out of the ocean, having been deboned, having been skinned and all the rest of it. It turns into this big block of fish meat, essentially. Gets transported as a frozen block back to the UK, gets sliced or sawed into these little fingers and then breaded, and then eventually ends up in a packet ready for you to eat. Along the way, having taken a 30,000-mile journey, simply in order to make it a little bit cheaper, because that processing bit is so labour intensive, and it's basically much cheaper to do it in China than it is to do it here in Europe. And here's the funniest thing, maybe not funny. In the packaging on the fish fingers, the box that you buy them on, they don't have to tell you any of that stuff. All they have to tell you is where the fish was caught and maybe where it was packaged. And so you can just say this was caught in the North Sea and packaged in the UK, and no one needs to know about this crazy 30,000-mile journey it's taken along the way.